Kharkiv region. The Ukrainian forces were trying to evacuate a Turkish-made Kirpi vehicle. Ukrainian forces wanted to rescue the vehicle, which was slightly damaged. However, Russian drone operators noticed the situation and did not allow it. The slightly damaged Turkish-made Kirpi was scrapped as a result of successive drone attacks. Now anyone who wants to can take the Kirpi from here. Russian drone operators come face to face with Ukrainian armed forces soldiers. As you can see in the video, although there is a course for drones, the drone operators hit the target with nimble maneuvers. Soldiers hiding inside the building are targeted by Russian drones. Dzerzhinsky direction. The first frame of the video shows a destroyed Ukrainian armored vehicle. Then the drone operator destroys the T-64BV tank of the Ukrainian armed forces as a result of attacks by fiber optic drones. The armored vehicle of the armed forces of Ukraine is destroyed by a single hit of the Novator fiber optic drone, Chasiv Yar. After the attack, another attack drone arrives and checks the previous attack. Realizing that the attack was successful, the operator turns and flies away. During reconnaissance, another M113 was spotted in the same area. The drone operator heads towards it. He finds the M113 and destroys it by hitting its vulnerable point. A bunker actively used by the armed forces of Ukraine was detected near Pokrovsk. The movement of personnel was monitored for some time. Then, at an appropriate time, the attack was launched. After the Russian attack drone hit the bunker, a fire broke out. Kharkiv direction. Russian VT-40 drone operators hit a pickup truck carrying personnel of the Ukrainian armed forces hard. The van lost its movement. Pickup trucks and vehicles were sent to evacuate the attacked Ukrainian personnel. But they were all hit by Russian drone attacks on the way. An armored vehicle arrived to evacuate all Ukrainian personnel, but the Russians followed the whole thing. As the soldiers were about to board the armored vehicle, another attack drone with heavy ammunition arrived and hit the armored vehicle. There were 15 Ukrainian soldiers on the scene. After the attack, the soldiers scattered in the forested areas, and this time Russian artillery opened fire. The Russian fighter threw a backpack full of anti-tank mines into the building where the Ukrainian armed forces personnel were located. The building collapsed with a powerful explosion. The Zala reconnaissance UAV of the Russian paratroopers detected and destroyed a foreign-made howitzer in the Zaporizhzhia region. Two S-1 Gvozdika of the Ukrainian armed forces was destroyed in the direction of Kramatorsk. According to the latest reports, Russian troops continue to advance in the direction of Kramatorsk. All equipment and installations in this direction are being destroyed, and the advance is gaining momentum. The fighting in the region continues in full intensity. Russian drones destroyed the equipment. Then the ammunition inside the equipment exploded, and a powerful explosion occurred. The Russian Rocket Artillery Brigade carried out powerful strikes in the direction of Kharkiv. It hit the targets with pinpoint accuracy. A BY and BC depots were destroyed. In addition, American Patriot SAMs were hit. Night operations continue. For months on this channel, we have been showing the attacks made by the fiber optic drone. Many people wonder what a fiber optic drone looks like and how it works. This video clip shows everything in the most transparent way. The installation of the fiber optic drone, its cables and the launch pad are clearly visible.
Ваш Миль, наблюдай картинку, прием.
Картинку поджигай.
Да, принял, поджигаю.
Russian reconnaissance units quickly identified 3 mortar positions of the Ukrainian armed forces. Without delay, drone operators flew to the mortar positions in 3 different locations. The mortars were destroyed with a single strike. UAV operators of the 37th Separate Guards Motorized Rifle Brigade of the 36th Combined Arms Army destroyed an abandoned armored personnel carrier vehicle in the direction of South Donetsk. Such abandoned vehicles can be a trap. Therefore, their destruction is important for the security of the region. Pokrovsk direction. In the Novo-Nikolaevka settlement, Russian drone operators ambushed Ukrainian armed forces personnel and armored vehicles. The Russian drone, which is waiting with its engine and propeller turned off, immediately turns on its engine when the target approaches and hits the target directly. In the same region, a Russian drone ambushed 2 American-made Humvees. The Russian drone collided head-on with the Humvee. In Kharkiv region, an armored vehicle of the Ukrainian armed forces hit a mine in the middle of the road. During an aerial reconnaissance in the Kharkiv region, the northern UAV operator of the Russian Air Force uncovered and destroyed a Ukrainian armed forces ground-type UAV with an anti-tank mine planted on it. Moments of Russian airstrikes recorded by Ukrainian armed forces soldiers.
Главное, что я... Ебать! Так ты шо? Опять туда же.
Сука. Ебать, Господи, сбережи. Сука.
In Sumy region, the movement of 2 motorized infantrymen of the armed forces of Ukraine was detected. Russian drone operators followed them, and when they were parked in the forest belt, attack drones were activated and flew directly at the 2 soldiers. Two Russian servicemen destroyed the basement where the Ukrainian armed forces personnel were located by throwing an anti-tank mine into the basement. The Russian Defense Ministry reported that FPV UAV operators of the South Troops destroyed an armored HMMWV and a pickup truck of the armed forces of Ukraine near the village of Myskoye. As far as I can see from the video, the drone that carried out the attack is the Prince of Novgorod Vandal fiber optic drone. The video shows robotic platforms destroying Ukrainian positions. Kupiansk direction. Russian troops are attacking trenches and bunkers actively used by the Ukrainian armed forces with ground UAVs. What do you think about these ground UAVs? Write your opinion in the comments. UAV operators of the 35th Combined Arms Army of the Vostok Group detected a bunker of the Ukrainian armed forces in the forest belt. They then destroyed the bunker and its equipment with a fiber optic drone loaded with heavy ammunition. Destroyed a 122mm 2S1 self-propelled howitzer with a Lancet attack near the Serebryansky forestry on the Krasnolimansk direction. Members of the U.S. Special Operations Command observe an F-35 flying somewhere in the Indo-Pacific.
Какая красивая погода, а травка.
Artillery of the 3rd Combined Arms Army of the Southern Group destroyed a Ukrainian UAV checkpoint. Russian reconnaissance drone operators discovered trenches and bunkers actively used by Ukrainian armed forces personnel. The coordinates were then relayed to the artillery and fiber optic drone operators, and the attacks began. First, the artillery shelled the positions intensively. Then the attacking fiber optic drones went into action and precisely penetrated the bunkers and blew them up. An armored personnel carrier vehicle attempting to escape a Russian drone attack faced another drone attack while on the move. The armored vehicle, which proceeded by emitting smoke due to the impact it received, completely lost its movement after the second FPV drone attack. There is no information about the crew inside the armored vehicle. There were reports of soldiers hiding inside a ruined house on the same direction. The attack drones were activated, and the drone with heavy ammunition destroyed the house. What do you think happened to those inside as a result of this attack? An armored personnel carrier was found abandoned in a village with the door left open. A fiber optic drone slowly approached the armored vehicle and destroyed it. After the drone attack, the armored vehicle exploded with ammunition inside and crashed into the house next door. A pickup truck of the armed forces of Ukraine with the REB system was destroyed in a midnight attack. VT-40 destroyed the drone. Another armored personnel carrier tried to evade a Russian drone. However, the operator hit a sensitive area of the armored vehicle and cut off its movement. Ukrainian soldiers working to build a new bunker heard the FPV drone and immediately ran to the bunker. The Russian fiber optic drone entered the bunker, and that's what happened.